Hello everyone, welcome to my top 5 best Power Rangers seasons. No, technically a series, but season I feel right. Now basically now, before I get to it, this is just my personal list. And personally, since Power Rangers Beast Morphers is coming out, well basically yesterday, I feel like this is the time I talk about this. But before we get to it, the Super season will not be as good as this one because we all know it's completely garbage. But anyways, with that out of the way, let's get to the list. For number 5 spot is basically not Power Rangers Jungle Fury. Now I would put in some other seasons that almost been a great or perfect season such as Wild Force or RPM, but I feel like Power Rangers Jungle Fury had the number 5 spot. It's considered underrated, and personally I kinda actually liked it. Personally, I love what Power Rangers Jungle Fury had done. Well, it actually mixed with both Kung Fu and Karate at the same time, but it also shows pretty good arc, and let's face it, the team stars are pretty good. While at best, there are some characters I kinda like, but there are some good characters I don't feel like to talk about. I feel like the rest of the characters feel a little bit cringy in some places, such as the Wolf Ranger and, well, basically enough, a little bit of Rain Ranger. But personally, there are some good concepts to the series. What actually prevented it is that, well, because it should have been a perfect end, should have ended in a perfect season. That's why I put it at number 5 of Jungle Fury. And for number 4 is Power Rangers Dino Charge. Yeah, that one. If I were saying nice to it, it's that basically enough, for at best, season 1 is actually pretty not that bad. Power Rangers Dino Charge is actually a concept for dinosaurs, and personally should have been a good season for the Supply era. Basically enough, with good content such as co-op as a caveman, and also arcs such as, well, based on each Rangers had to get their own destiny, such as the Red Ranger Spotter, and etc. Now, what actually prevented them being much more higher on the list is that, well, at best, there are some cringy moments such as just main things such as Sledge and etc. But there are some good concepts such as, well, I forgot what the Purple Ranger name, but it personally is pretty good. And what actually not prevented is actually the Super season ruined the concept. But despite this, I highly recommend watching the first season before you watch the Super, because the Super season is actually pretty terrible. And for the number 3 spot is Power Rangers, well, based on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, otherwise known as the first season actually started. Now, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is a pretty interesting concept. We're showing a lot of series, and the first Power Rangers history ever had longest episodes is actually pretty interesting. There are some concepts I kind of actually like, such as the Repulsa group, the birth of the Power Rangers, the evil Green Ranger, and etc. Now, the reason why I put this in number 3 and it should have been number 1 is that while there are some episodes that are pretty good, there are some are not, such as the Pumpkin Rapper and several more. Plus, in the season 3, they showed the ninja style, and even in that, I still don't like what they done for the next season. But personally, My Morphin Power Rangers is still a pretty good season, and personally, I highly recommend watching it, season 1 and season 2. Now for the number 2 spot is the Power Rangers RPM. Now this is a perfect example of what should have been a perfect season and a perfect ending. Basically now, Power Rangers RPM is a pretty interesting concept. They take place in a pocket world, where basically it's actually pretty twisted and also one of the most emotional seasons I ever seen. Basically now, while there are some seasons such as Lost Galaxy and also basically now Turbo, but with that, this actually combined into one package. And basically enough, RPM should have been a perfect season. While there are some concepts such as I kind of actually like some villains including Machinery that also show pretty concept, including the final villain where basically now in one of the smartest ones. And plus the concept is pretty amazing. I wish this should have been a perfect season to be in a part of history. But pretty much, it's a pretty good season. I highly recommend it on Netflix. And right before I get to who's number 1, let's get to some honorable mentions out of the way. Ninja Steel. Basically, while Ninja Steel is pretty good, and however, like Dino Charge, it actually have some bad content in Super Season. Well, at least there's some episodes that are good, but the rest, yeah, not that good. Yeah, sorry. Mystic Force. Mystic Force is almost magical, and there's some good episodes, including some great character development. But unfortunately, there are some that actually never been developed, such as the Red Ranger. And basically now, there are some characters that are pretty much crazy and outwear weird. So yeah, Time Force. While I never actually liked the Time Force, it's actually pretty good. While the story is not that bad, I feel like there's some scenes about the villain and seem a little bit crazy. So I put it on mention. And for number one spot is Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Now, basically now, this is pretty much unexpected number one. And personally, I kind of like this because basically on Power Rangers Dino Thunder, it's a perfect example a legacy does right. Personally, the fact is that while best, there are some episodes that are pretty cringy, but personally, Dino Thunder is pretty much an interesting concept, and no, not just because Tommy Albert. And personally, there's some episodes and good character development, including more screen time for the villain. And personally, showing what true Mega Power Rangers season truly great. And personally, Dino Thunder shows what makes up good Power Rangers season. Character development, and basing out a lot of time and development to on each characters, including the villain. That's why I put this in number one. I hope you guys enjoyed this top 10, or basically on top 5 best Power Rangers seasons. And is there any season that I forgot to mention, or basically enough I have been shown this list, leave comments below, and be sure to leave a like and share this with your friends. Hope that also support the channel. And basically, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I might do the top 5 best Power Ranger villains, maybe. But anyway, guys, see you guys next time. I am Desert Trevor. I'll see you out. Peace.